the condition that black people suffer in this country is extremely bad, and it takes an extreme remedy to correct an extreme condition. That's why the moderates can't do it. That's why the conservatives can't do it. We are extremely angry over the plight of our people, and we know that it's going to take some extreme actions to correct this plight.
To say I am a Christian is not enough. Why? Because the Christianity of the slaveholder is not the Christianity of the slave. The God to whom the slaveholders pray as they ride on the decks of the slave ship is not the God to whom the enslaved are praying as they ride beneath the decks on that same slave ship. How we are seeing God, our theology, is not the same. And what we both mean when we say, I am a Christian, is not the same thing.
A resolution to propose an amendment to Article 1, Section 33 of the Constitution of Tennessee to prohibit slavery and involuntary servitude.
That should have been done probably a long time ago. Just give yourselves a round of applause for helping me, okay?
Ayes 97, no nays.
I hereby declare it concurred.
Is slavery still legal in Utah? Well, technically, yes. And it's still legal in many other states. And it's something that ABC4's Brittany Johnson has been looking into. So, Brittany, first question, big question, how is this still legal here?
Well, Don, let me break it down for you. Our state's constitution does say that slavery is illegal, but it is allowed as a form of punishment. Now, I have been looking into this for more than a month, and I've made plenty of calls to our state's leaders, and people I spoke with didn't even know that this was still in Utah's constitution. Now, today I sat down with the president of the NAACP, and they want this removed now. Utah's constitution clearly reads slavery is forbidden, but technically, it's still legal as a form of punishment. Article 1, Section 21 of Utah's constitution reads, neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except as a punishment for crime whereof the parties shall have been duly convicted, shall exist within this state. Janetta Williams, president of the NAACP's Salt Lake branch, is calling for the wording in our state's constitution to be changed.
Is it something that should be done immediately? What they're trying to get around saying that slavery is not okay, but then trying to say, but except. And that part there is very troubling.
Utah isn't alone. Other state constitutions allow slavery as punishment for a crime. The U.S. Constitution does too. The 13th Amendment was ratified in 1865. Now, it abolished most forms of slavery, but still allowed for the opportunity of servitude as legal punishment. And that has yet to change.
Prisons is not a form of slavery, and it shouldn't be a form of slavery. Our ancestors were slaves, and I think if it was the other way around, people would want to say, you know, these things shouldn't be on the books.
Williams says the first step in getting this removed from the state's constitution is to raise awareness.
And we need to work together and make sure that that we don't just sweep it under the rug.
That should have been done probably a long time ago. Just give yourselves a round of applause for helping me, okay?
This is a state thing. As a resident of this state who happens to be St. Paul's Capital's police chief, it's important that this wording is removed. When people go into the criminal justice system, when they are entered in the Department of Corrections, it should not be viewed as an exception to slavery. People who are paying their debt to society should not be viewed and should not be treated as if they're slaves. Words matter, Minnesota, and we can do better. In this fall, I hope you join me in striking this language from our Constitution. Thank you very much.
And now I'd like to introduce my co-author, and she's my true co-author, not just a second author, because chief authorship will pass to her for floor action, and that is St. Paul State Representative Rena Moran.
Thank you, Representative Nash. So the Emancipation Proclamation was issued 157 years ago. But Black Americans still carry multi-generational trauma from that dark period in our nation's early history. This trauma informs my work here at the Capitol, and every day I try to lift our community spirit of the systemic biases that continue to hold them down. As the great-great-granddaughter of slaves, this issue is personal to me. It's a matter of human dignity. It's unacceptable for our state to sanction slavery or involuntary servitude under any context. It's time for this language to be eliminated, and I am so proud to be the co-author of this legislation, which would amend our Constitution to do so.
That should have been done probably a long time ago. Just give yourselves a round of applause for helping me.